I'm going to talk about, okay, first, good morning. I'm Rodrigo, and I'm going to talk about a pet that I haven't owned before. This pet is usually not common, it's really uncommon because it's not, it's a reptile, but it's kind of reptile that is in the family of the lizards. So the pet that I'm talking about is the iguana. The iguana is an herbivorous genus of lizard, native of the tropical weather, mostly in Mexico, South America, and also Central America. Actually, there are two kinds of iguana. The first one is green iguana, that is, you can find it in Mexico and Central America. And the other one is the iguana of the Antilles. The iguana of the Antilles is now in danger because they are in danger of extinction. And this kind of iguanas now, the Antilles iguanas are now protected by the Republic of Dominican in Central America and by world laws, right? So the iguana that I want to own as a pet is the green iguana, that the species that is not endangered. Okay, the iguana has possess a dewlap. Dewlap is like kind of bag uh, lower in the head. Like for example, this is the iguana.
Yeah, I got it.
The iguana
Yeah,
has
yeah.
a dewlap, and also has spines running down their back onto
Yeah.
the tail, right? So there are different kind of in the green iguana there are also different kind of species, depends of is if it's male or female. Usually the males has big, not big, has a long spines in their back and is more colorful. And also the male you can difference if it's a male or female because between the both eyes there are a third eye that is kind of parental eye. The iguanas possess an excellent vision. They can saw shapes, shadows, color, and also they can see through the forest, where's the food, and long movements. So iguana really is good at hunting. And if you own this kind of animal as a pet, the care is really special because they have a really strict feeding, and you have to in your box, in your glass box, you have to have some kind of wood and some improvised tree because they are really good climbers, and you have to you have a lid above the box because maybe sometimes they feel so restricted, so they want to go out, and it's really difficult to find them again. Most of the times, if you don't care about the clothes can reach a little longer centimeters and can be really dangerous for people, right? And and taming. Okay, as I said before, uh, taming, taming is the domestication. So if you want to own this green iguana as a pet, most of the time is only in early years. Early years because when they can grow really long and really big, and they don't want they don't forget his wild environment only in a crunch of things. They are so wild and can suddenly react so aggressively. So summarizing the green iguanas, The green iguanas are a really good pet if you possess it in early age. In early age, they are so clean. They are so clean, but also because they are so clean, you have to care about the food and also clean the cage because maybe some kind of issues, special issues that can come with this kind of pets because are reptiles is that most of the time they has a bacteria that can produce salmonellosis. Yeah, so to humans. So you have to really take care of that. And the habitat now in green iguanas are are not endangered. So this is the good species to own, right? So this is the
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Excellent. Very good. Any questions about the green iguana?
Yes. What they eat, or what's their prey?
Yeah.
They are herbivores.
Herbivorous?
Herbivores.
So what kind of plants do they eat?
They eat most of the time tropical plants, and if you want so specific, they eat plants that doesn't have flowers because flowers they can swallow some pollen and they can shock. They can
Choke?
Yeah,
Choke?
choke.
Okay.
So they eat plants that is full of water because his own nature is a reptile that most of the time you can find it above taking the sun because they are so sunny reptiles.
Okay. Okay.
They eat just only plants,
Yeah, only plants. There are divers,
not fly.
no flies.
No bugs. So when you, what kind of food do you feed them in your cage then?
In your cage.
What would they feed in the cage? Because you won't have live plant in there, right?
No, but maybe kind of seeds.
Oh, seeds?
Yeah,
Okay.
seeds.
They'll
are
eat
allowed.
seeds too?
Exactly, like for example,
Sunflower seeds?
sunflower seeds.
Pumpkin seeds?
Sunflower seeds, exactly.
Okay.
Sunflower seeds, most of the time.
All right. Let's see. Now you said it has some issues with if you don't care for them.
Yeah. The issue that I really meant is because if you don't clean the cage,
Okay.
they have a bacteria in this reproductive instinct,
Okay. In the reproductive system.
reproductive system that the bacteria that can produce salmonellosis is passive.
Okay.
But if you don't feed them correctly, this bacteria can become active
Okay.
and can in the poo.
In the feces.
In the feces, can this bacteria go out?
Okay.
And if you don't clean the cage or if you don't feed them correctly, most of the time children and elderly people
Okay.
can touch
The feces or the bacteria.
The feces and it's really coming to get the contagion.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, so you have to be careful of the cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, the early years. You say that only in your early years you can catch them from the wild.
Yeah, these early years means from the day they born
From
until 2 years.
about 2 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
only 2 years.
And how long do they live?
They live up to 15 years in wild,
Mm-hmm.
but for example, most of the time, pets, this kind of pets that has in a domestic house can live more than 1 year because the people don't
Yes. So
don't
they have
take the property.
so we call that a high mortality, means a high death rate
Exactly.
if they're in captivity
And
compared
also
to.
one point that I wanna touch is because this species is from Mexico and
More south?
more south from Mexico and down. Because of the exotic of the species, most United States people caught them and released them in California. But now this species, because it's so they this species is really aggressive and so this is their high percentage on survive is really good. They can adapt. Is the
Okay,
word.
so they're very adaptable.
Yeah, they are really adaptable. So now it's a problem in California because
There's so many.
they are exterminating the native species
Right.
in California.
That's right.
That's why because they are
Because
really
they have
adaptable.
no native prey, right?
Exactly.
There's no predator for them.
Exactly.
No
so
na-
they are
natural
highly
predator.
adaptable. So now this species is kind of become a plague because they are exterminating the native species in
That's
California.
right. They're taking over.
Yeah.
Okay. They're replacing them.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, any more questions?
Nope.
Okay, excellent. Great job. Now, some criticism now. Constructive criticism, of course, in a good way. Whenever you start a presentation, you need to always try to make a personal connection somehow.
Okay.
Okay? When you make a presentation, as he did at the beginning of his, ask your audience a question. Get them to get involved right away. Okay? What kind of pet would you like? Have you ever thought of having a reptile for a pet? Or you want to keep an open-ended question. Like he asked, what kind of white animal can you think of? And you're not just thinking yes or no question, you're thinking, oh, what kind of animals are white? Zebras, parakeets, the white tiger. So you're asking those questions, open-ended questions, right at the beginning, and you don't really need them to answer. We call it rhetorical question, means a question that doesn't need an answer. You can ask those questions and don't have to worry about them answering and just continue on because they're still thinking about your question as you're about to present. Okay, so what is your favorite pet? You know, my favorite pet, or what kind of exotic animal do you think you would like to have? And then right away you get into your presentation. Not waiting for the answers. You don't need to wait for answers. You waited for the answers, of course, but you don't need to. If you had an audience of 100 people, you're not going to wait. Oh, okay, you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Okay. Yeah. Done, I'm done with my presentation. I don't need to go on because you've wasted 20 minutes answering questions. But just a rhetorical question means a question that does not need an answer. Get them involved somehow emotionally. Think about them personally. Like he said, what's your personal favorite, or what do you think, what's a great white animal that you can think of? And you're thinking of it already, right? So continue on with the conversation that way. So that was starting your presentation by getting your audience's attention. Now, when you did a great sketch on the board, but once you did that sketch, you started talking to the sketch. You turned away from your audience. At first, you were first facing us, and then when you did that sketch, you started talking to the board and away to the side of the wall, right? You weren't making eye contact. You need to know that the board is there and sort of point to it and talk to your audience because you're pointing to it and talking to the board. So try and recognize that when you're facing away from your audience, you're losing your audience's attention. Okay, so you need to turn your body more and face more eye contact. Okay, so that was so start your presentation by getting your attention, make a personal connection, talk to your audience, not the board. And when you said you care about your iguana, you care for your iguana. You care for your iguana doing this and doing that. You care for. Yes, and the issues, the iguana have a bacteria. They have a bacteria. Okay, because you're talking about, let's see, just grammatically, you said has a bacteria, and I think in the sentence that you were saying it should have been they have a bacteria. Okay, because you're talking about them overall. I think that is, I can't remember what exactly the context. I wrote down have in brackets where it should have been have and not has. Okay, just a has and a have thing. I can't remember. Issues has a bacteria. I think the iguanas have a bacteria that can affect humans. Okay, and that was it. Okay. Yeah, excellent. Otherwise, great job. Very good. And you tried to get that conclusion in there. And it's sort of, I know we sort of asked questions at the same time and you went back to it, but your conclusion a little blunt. You know what I mean? It started to come down and then all of a sudden you cut it right off. And you stood there, you're like, I'm done. No. Is there any questions? You know, and again, give your opinion at the end. Tell us what you told us. You said, I told you today, as to summarize, I've talked about the habitat of the iguana being the forest or the valleys of Central America down to the tips of South America, basically. And to care for an iguana is very difficult regarding cleaning and feeding, and to tame. Now, did we talk about taming? Did you talk about taming it? In what way did you talk about taming it?
That taming, you cannot tame.
Oh, okay.
You
So
cannot
yeah,
tame.
okay. So wrapping it up, saying they're not tameable, and by the time they're 2 years old,
Yeah,
most
exactly.
people have released them to the wild or something like that. And now and this is why. And then give your opinion of why you really want the iguana, and then finish up with a nice question period. All right. Okay. Good. Great job. We're done.